Hey, what's going on, everybody? Make sure that you please subscribe to this channel, like, like this video, leave a comment to this video, and if you need to get in contact with me, my email is below. Get in contact with me for if you have questions, and I'll do my very best to get back to you as efficiently as possible. If you have any booking opportunities or whatever the case may be that you want to bring this way, I'll take a look at those opportunities and we'll go from there. But without further delay, I'd like to get right into this because this is a huge, huge subject matter that is plaguing our community, in particular, our melanated community. And the subject today is going to be weaponized men and women. Okay, are we weaponized against each other? The answer is yes. We really don't like each other. I hate to say that. Hold on just a second. Men, a lot of men don't like women, and a lot of women don't like men. I don't even want to say men and women. I want to just say this. So let me retract that. Females and males don't like each other. They don't. Why? Well, part of it is part of it is because we've been taught not to like each other. We've been taught to go eat each other's throat. You have men and women both disrespecting each other by derogatory statements towards each other, uh, lumping the opposite gender into an entire group as an end all be all, and it's caused so much divisiveness, and this is why we can't get anywhere because we just absolutely hate each other. For what? Because what one or two men or women did to you, you're going to generalize everybody. A lot of times when you have a finger pointing at you, you got three of them pointing. I mean, a finger pointed to someone, you got three of them pointed right back at you. Three of them. So you just as I mean, you three times is wrong. It's a simple fact that what you put out in the universe will come back to you. So when you feel like men ain't nothing, women ain't nothing, a lot of times it's because you ain't. It's I'll even say it like this. It's more likely that you aren't nothing because that's what you produced around you. Nobody gets an exemption pass for how things work in this universe, in nature. It works the same for all of us. What what we manifest around us starts from within us. You got a set of circumstances and situations that you don't like. It's because you have been responsible for producing it. Your parents are only responsible for how you start. You're responsible for how it turns out. No more blaming your parents for what they did or didn't do to you. You're responsible for what you become. My dad was one type of father, but that doesn't dictate how I am as a father. But if I just let things flow, I'll be a product of my environment. And most of our environments for us are not conducive environments to produce anything that is worthy. So in order for us to become worthy in the toxic environments that we're in, we have to make changes inside of ourselves to break the curses of ourselves. Nobody in your family's gone to college, and that's what you want to do. You can't do what they did because you won't go to college either. Nobody in your family runs a business, but you want to have a business. You can't do what they did because you won't have a business either. Now, I'm not knocking the hood. That's not what I'm here to do. What I am being honest about is there are situations in our hoods that doesn't lend itself to us to have production of anything of positivity. Everything has been socially engineered for us to get a socially engineered result. And they want us to be animals and savages. When you take an environment where food's hard to come by, clothes are hard to come by, shelter is hard to come by, and living every day is just keeping your head above water, if you just naturally flow with that, how can that produce anything but what it's designed to produce? But a rose can grow from a concrete, right? That's the old saying. And what it's trying to elicit there is, in under harsh conditions, something beautiful can come out of it. But what they're not telling you is that it takes you doing some shadow work on yourself and taking accountability and changing the trajectory of where you're destined to head according to the social engineering, and become something different. And then pulling back, reaching back, and trying to come up with creative ways of trying to help the people that don't know how to get out. And you got to be careful with that, because if you don't have, I want you to imagine if you and your friends are hanging off the cliff. Everybody's thinking about saving their own lives, but you're strong enough. You've done the due diligence to make you strong enough so you can pull yourself up and then you can help them. When you reach your hand down there, you got to be careful, because if you don't have your base set, your foundation right, and you know that you're strong enough to pull that human being up, they can pull you off the edge too. So it's a balancing act to make sure that you have yourself set up in such a way. You just can't reach. If you are 100 and if you are 185 pounds and you're trying to save somebody that's 205 pounds, they already outweigh you. So if you don't have yourself hooked to something, if you don't have yourself braced against something to hold on, just the sheer fact that they weigh more than you is going to pull you and them off the cliff. And a lot of times in our impoverished society, it's a dog eat dog world. It's one of those types of things that people feel like if they're going to die, they're going to take out as many people as they can take out too. And that's not right. But when people are in a survival state, their moral compass is compromised. So they're not thinking clearly. All they're thinking about is them saving themselves. You can't blame them for that. But by the same token, you need to be aware of when you're trying to help someone. You need to be aware of the ways that you can get caught up into some things that you don't want to get caught up into. But some of you will get out of bad situations and you are so interested in bravado and praise. And it just makes you a target to get pulled back under. It's a crab in the barrel mentality. See, the crabs in the you ever go to the store? You ever go to the store? I go to this store where they have lobsters in a tank, and the lobsters are in there to be cooked. You don't know if they know this or not, but maybe they do. But the lobsters are climbing over top of each other. No regard. They want to get to where they're trying to get to, and they want to posture and position themselves to be postured and positioned for what they want. They could care less how any other lobsters feel. Crabs are the same exact way. Crabs in the barrel. They climb on top of each other. Poor crabs at the bottom. They don't stand a chance. But the ones at the top, they feel like they have a chance. They're trying to get to the top. And some of them, if not careful, can climb on top of each other to the point where they can reach the top and they fall over. And then they seem to have some semblance of hope and trying to run away. Now, if somebody's monitoring that crab barrel, they see the ones fall over and they will use whatever utensils they have to use to get them back. A lot of times rubber bands will be put on their clamps so they can't attack, and just like they do with lobsters. And so a person will reach down there and grab that crab and stick it back in the barrel and then put a top on it. This is society right here. Society has created a barrel, and sometimes unattended, a few might get out, but they're keeping tabs. And if you try to get out, because of classism, they'll put you right back in there. But if you, being the crab, are in a crab in a barrel situation, and you would change, you would transform and renew your mind, your processes will be different, and then therefore you will get a different result. So you have to learn, understand, and you have to read, research what you're doing, what the steps are, how to do it, and what you need in place. Do the best that you can and reach for that. Now, if you weren't in a barrel, it would be easier for you to get out there. Okay. So in the dominant society, they're not dealing with the elements of the crab in the barrel. So that's one hurdle that they don't have to go across. All they have to do is be of decent quality in terms of what they need to do, and they will get to where they need to relatively get to. Some of you, like let's just say, for an example, that there's a few people in an establishment that make an unusual amount of money. Like, let's take basketball. Okay. Let's say a player got a 5-year, $250 million contract, right? Those contracts aren't passed out every day. Only maybe one person on the team can even get that. And even if they wanted to get that type of contract, they would have to accomplish certain milestones to be qualified for that. Because there's one thing that there's a max contract and there's a super max. You have to qualify. You have to meet certain things like first team all NBA, this, that, and the other, or all of this other stuff like that. Because that could be the difference between you getting a $250 million contract and $198 million contract. Look, granted, 198, 250, who cares? Tomato. But again, I think anybody, if they have the choice to choose between the two numbers, they would choose the 250. So as I was saying, changing your mind and your processes is going to change and bring change around you. Every time something's going wrong in your life, the answer can't always be, I need to get away from this environment, right? Because some environments you do need to get away from, but then some environments, it's not that you need to get away from those environments. You keep causing the stuff that's happening in your environment. So for instance, let's just say you live in a bad neighborhood and you say, man, I got to get out of here. And you figure out a way to get out of there and you actually get out of there. If you carry that same way of thinking to the new environment, your new environment will become your old environment. And then what'll end up happening is you'll say, dang, I'm here again. I need a change of scenery. And if you're not careful, you're going to just bing bong in your life, accomplishing nothing. So you got to stop that. You literally have to stop trying to change the environment that you're in. Now, listen, I'm not talking about those socially engineered environments. Yes, you do need to get out of those environments. You do. But if you're in a new environment, or you're in an environment where there are people around you that are doing well and that are thriving, it's not the environment, it's you. It's your processes that's got you in a conundrum. And it's not something that happens overnight. And it may take you doing something that you don't want to do, but you're going to have to do it. We have our men and our women, because of these environments or these impoverished mindsets, that has us hating one another. And the actuality is, by law, nature, we need one another. I see videos of girls talking about how to trick a man, how to take advantage of a man, how to lie to a man to put you in the best situation to get something from him, how to give and take and ration out with a man. Don't give him any nookie. Make him earn the nookie. But ladies, if he's giving you access to the relationship, he gave you access to the relationship because he wanted the box. That has to be part of it. And then you're going to ration out the box to him, like that's going to keep him in check or give him some type of reward. The only thing you're going to do is you're going to just frustrate him, burn him out, and then he's going to go out there and he's going to cheat on you, even if he pledged fidelity to you. I know this girl in particular. I've known her probably 20 years. Very beautiful girl, very beautiful. And she got married, and her husband keeps cheating on her. Now, to the outside looking in, one would think, why on earth would a man be married to her and cheat on her? But see, I know the game. See, there's no excuse. I'm not making excuses for him cheating on her. That's not what I'm here to do. That's not what we're going to do. But what I'm saying is, there is a reason. There is a cause and effect. You learned it in school, cause and effect. Nothing happens by chance. Everything happens because there was an effect to a cause. Something started something. Now, where we lose accountability, and in particular, sorry, ladies, I'm sorry, not ladies, I'm sorry, females, but the reality of the situation is, you guys have a hard time with accountability. It's very difficult for you. Every time something goes wrong, typically a typical woman, a typical female, I would say, would always say the reason why I did this is because, right? And you got to be careful with that, because if a man pledges fidelity to you and cheats on you, the very first thing that you have to do is ask yourself, what role did I play in him cheating on me? Was I attentive to him with consistency? Was I giving it to him consistently? Was I honoring my commitment to him? Now, if you can honestly say yes to that, then that's on him, but not with this girl I'm talking about. I would be around these people, and I could even see her husband trying to touch her in a loving way, and she would act skittish. Or she would even say, I hope you don't think you're getting any. Now, one could explore why. Well, why is she like that? Is she like that because he cheated before? But it doesn't stop there. Well, why did he cheat? Was he was it like this, like before he cheated on her the first time? Because you got to go back to that. What was going on? What was going on? And this woman, she bragged about how much sex they were having when they were in a dating. And then when they got married, she stopped having sex with him. What do you expect him to do? If he thinking he's going to go in and he's going to get some sex, what is he supposed to do? I know. He's supposed to just suffer. Because men are made to suffer, right? What man signs up for suffrage? I know this isn't going to be good for me, but I want to do it. I know I'm just going to hate this, and I want to do it. You're asking a man to forsake, in a monogamous situation, you're asking a man to forsake all other women. You're going to be the chief, primary, top dog. No one comes after you. End all be all. It's just you, lady. Ladies don't have a problem with this, but females do. And all of a sudden, you sign a contract to be and do what you say you're going to be and do, and then you don't do it. Do you think that the contract was broken at that point? No, it's not. But it's not broken at that point. Why? Because no accountability. See, the only time somebody, and a lot of times, the only time that a person is accountable, the only time a person is, the person that's accountable has to be the man. He's responsible for everything. He shoulders everything. When he is not doing what he's supposed to do as a man, there is repercussions. But when a woman is not, but when a woman's not doing what she's supposed to do in a relationship, there is excuses, reasons, justifications. And here's the thing I'm going to tell you. Excuses, whether inexcusable or excusable, they're all excuses. And who wants them? Like, do you want to be with somebody, ladies? Do you want to be with somebody that always have excusable excuses for why they can't be what you need them to be? Like, is that going to fly? Of course not. So why is it flying on the flip side? Why is it flying on the flip side? It can't be that way. It's a two-way street. It's tough sometimes doing your job, but you got to do it. And you got to find everything that you can hold on to in terms of loving it to do it. Sometimes it may be the pleasure you get, the pleasure they get, the pleasure you both get, seeing your partner. Your why has to be bigger than you. No, you've heard that before. If you haven't, let me explain. If what you do is just for you, it ain't gonna be enough. But if what you do is for someone else, it can be big enough. You shouldn't be having relations with your husband for yourself. It should be for him. And fellas, you shouldn't be having relations with her for you. It should be for her. And if you took your approach in your relationship in that manner, first of all, making sure y'all going down the same path, then you have the grounds of being selfless to one another. But it's hard to be with somebody when you hate them. Imagine being in a relationship, right? Where you look like you're going places. Let's just say you play in football, basketball, you're on scholarship or whatever the case may be, and you meet this girl, right? But all she does in the relationship is she starts off in the relationship, she's smiling, she's giving it to you, da 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 da, blah 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 blah. Okay, then all of a sudden, she gets to a point in the relationship where she's just only focused on what she can do. Plans are made just for her. Plans, things that she wants is just about her. It's just about her. It's just about her. It's just about her. And then every chance she get, she cuts you off. She don't give you any. She don't do this with you. She don't do that with you. Whenever you have something on your mind, she don't want to listen to you. She think you complain all the time. Whenever you try to share your emotions and try to be vulnerable, she creates an environment where you ain't safe to be vulnerable or whatever the case may be. You know, she lies on you. She does this to you. She manipulates you. She do that. She do this to you. Now, I'm saying that can happen to women too. So don't just think I'm saying in this scenario just men. I'm just saying whatever you are, imagine the opposite person doing this to you. Does that person really like you or love you? It's impossible. Because if you like or you love somebody, it's just certain things that you cannot bring yourself to do to them. And some of us are so engulfed in the other person that we're with, we don't want to see that or we ignore that. Why? Why? These are some of the signs that they hate you or they hate the opposite gender. They're not supportive. When wrong is done to them, they don't stand up. They always they always with their group of girls or guys and they're always talking negatively about them. They go to the extremes of hurting one another. I mean, they go to the extremes of hurting their partner. They have traumas that they refuse to visit in terms of counseling or whatever the case may be, or at least talking to someone about those issues and problems. Their friends are the same because birds of a feather flock together. You can tell a lot about a person by the friendships that they keep. Or what about this one? They don't maintain relationships for long periods of times. And I'm not talking about intimate ones. I'm talking about friendships. Man, the friends come and the friends go in their life. And the ones that seem to stay around, they so far at bay, they don't really know what's going on with the person. You have children with them and they block you from seeing the children because you're not with them, because they don't like you. You got to focus on trying to love yourself first because you can't give something that you don't have. If you don't love yourself, then you're incapable of loving someone else, no matter how lonely you get. Some of you will be in relationships because you just don't want to be alone, but you're in a relationship with the species that you do not like. You are alone, you are in a relationship and you don't even like that person, or you're incapable of liking anyone, but you got needs. Sometimes it's just I've seen it with when it comes to men. Sometimes all us men are valued as sperm donors. That's all we're good for. They don't need us for anything else. So what? We allowing that? We're allowing them to do that to us? Hey, it is what it is. Why do we care so little about each other? And then this is the problem with us not loving each other and protecting each other. We allow all sorts of outside influences to come in and make things worse for us. So if we want to achieve real change and we want to change the things that are going on in our environments, starts with loving ourselves. Some of us can't help where we live, But can we take care of where we live? Pick up the trash off the ground? Stop with damaging property? Can we have respect for other people's property? When we see somebody else in need, can we just provide them a little something of what they need? Can we just have decency for each other and respect for one another? Why isn't it that we don't care about what somebody else is going through? We are so greedy and so self-centered that we can't see somebody else hurting. We don't even want to, we don't even want people. What we do, we say, I don't want to be around people like that because I don't want that negative energy around me. Without thinking sometimes the negative energy that's around them is some circumstances that they couldn't control, that they can't get out of. You know, what does your love look like? Is it just making sure you good? Or are you trying to reach out and you're trying to help as many people as you can? And yeah, there's a balancing act. You can't just deplete yourself, but you can still have some decency for, you can still have kindness. It's called mankind. Kindness for your fellow man or woman. Mankind, womankind. Call it what you want to call it. But we've lost the essence of what we were created to be, which was to be kind to each other. You know, I know you've heard the saying, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. Like, if you don't have anything nice to say, if we're in a relationship with each other and you just can't, like, I just can't seem to respect them. I can't seem to, I can't bring myself to respect them. Then don't be with them. If he did something so wrong to you that you can't forget to the point of being able to be what you need to be for him, don't burn him. Just say, hey, I can't be with you because this is what you did and I just can't get past that. But you stay and you grow bitter. And then every day is like a concoction of how to make that person's life worse. Fellas, if a woman can't show you if a woman can't show you respect, leave her. Do away with her. Just amicably just say, this can't work anymore. Why? You don't respect me the way I want to be respected. You want somebody to bow down and kiss your feet. Call it what you want to call it, but my requirements for respect is not the requirements you're willing to meet. And so since that is the case, I don't want us to resent each other or become bitter towards each other every growing day. I want you to be able to be in an environment where you can be, where you can feel loved, but you can also respect, because nobody's going to want to be with a woman that is not going to show respect. And maybe you can't bring yourself to respect me. But if you can't bring yourself to respect me, that's okay. You should respect everybody, but if you can't bring yourself to respect me, then I don't want to be in a situation. As much as I love you, care about you, she gonna either shape up or she gonna shape out. She gonna be like, all right, whatever. And then she may leave. And when she leaves, move on. But you're so afraid of being alone. You're not alone. You're all one. And sometimes the Most High wants to get you all alone so that you can get dealt with and you can heal and be better. But you're 25 and you'll stay until you're 35 and you'll stay until you're 45. And whether you're a woman or a man, whether you have the biological clock or not, you're just wasting time. You're just wasting time. I remember being in a relationship with this woman and I didn't want to become nothing with her because I knew she was with me for the wrong reasons. But I'm in a relationship now where I want to become more and more and more, largely because of who I'm with. That's a great feeling. It's not necessarily what I need, but it's a great feeling to know that I want to become a better version of myself because of my wife. And I can't predict things. I would love to be with my wife for all eternity. But I can't predict I can't predict how my wife feels, and I can't predict what the future holds. But my intent is to always be there with my wife. Why? Because she is she is valuable to me. Does that mean that that I do things right every day, all the time, 100% of the time? Nope. She'll tell you that, and vice versa. But it's not about that. It's about the effort, the intention, the commitment. I heard somebody say loyalty is, you know, doesn't always last. Okay. But that's not the same thing as covenant. Covenant ain't based on her and it ain't based on me. Covenant is based on the principles of what you stand for, regardless. I'm going to be this as long as we are. But I won't cut you a day short of that. If I can't give you what you need based on how I feel or whatever it is, if there's something blocking me from giving you what you absolutely need from me, I can't be with you. And maybe we outgrew each other. Maybe you don't see that I can take you where you want to go anymore. What maybe you want to go in a different direction than me. I don't want that to happen. But what am I supposed to do? Be mean to you? Be hateful to you? No. I just give you your walking papers. It's plain and simple. I don't want you to be with me if you don't want to be with me. If you don't like me, you don't care about me. I don't want that. What are we accomplishing here? You getting a thrill on making my life hard or me making your life hard? What? How could you? How could you bring yourself to focus and concentrate so much of your energy on tearing down and not building up? You ain't even got time to build anything up because all you seem to do is just tear down, tear down, tear down, and talk real catty about me to your girlfriends. Why? To your guy friends. Why? And when you telling everybody your business and then you forgive your spouse or the person you rocking with, everybody that you telling gonna remember. So then what? Now you come around and they looking at your partner, they looking at your spouse in a funny way. And you were responsible for that because what you and your spouse went through, you couldn't go through it together. So you just tell everybody what you're going through. Every time you have this goes for good stuff too. Some of us will get on any platform where we've got ears and attention, and we will tell everybody how wonderful it is. What does it benefit you? Folks don't need to be in your business knowing whether things are going good or whether things are going bad. It is of no consequence. Hey man, how's everything going with you and your wife? We straight. That's all they need is a neutral answer. Nobody needs to know. Even if you guys got something magical that you discovered in your relationship, is the details really anybody's business? Because misery loves company. And if you tell somebody who's miserable or who is capable of falling easily into a misery state, they're just going to remember all the happy people and all the happy things that's going on and try to find a way You've had children together. You guys have grown apart. You don't want to be with that person. You're no longer attracted to that person. That means so much to you. And so you decide, I don't really want to be with this person. And they discover before you do that y'all ain't a good fit no more. And they leave you. Now you're mad because they left you. So you're going to spend your entire life trying to make things as difficult as it can be for the person that left you, that you didn't want to be with. You showed time after time that you didn't want to be with this person. You know, you done had this person arrested. You done beat up on this person. You done did some of everything to this person to make life hard for them when they were with you. And they got the memo. Dang, this person don't love me. I need to leave. And you're mad at them for leaving. And so you're going to say, oh, he abandoned us. So I'm going to make him suffer. I'm going to tell his child that he doesn't love him or her. I'm going to turn his children against him because it didn't work out between us. And then you turn around and whatever religion you are, you say, hallelujah. Amen. Praise the Lord. Or whatever you say. So that you can get likes and shares and people to view you in a positive light. But in reality, you are the most hateful person in the history of all hatedom. And you wonder why things go the way they go in your life. You can't seem to catch a break, can you? Every time you take 2 steps forward, you take 5 steps backwards, isn't it? You switch from Nikes to Reeboks, huh? And you think that your game is so sweet, but you suffering because you have hatred. You ain't been with you ain't had a meaningful relationship since. Ain't nobody wanted to offer you the ultimate relationship since. And you make excuses. It's because I don't want that. Like I hear a lot of ladies say this. I've been proposed to 5, 6 times already. By who? By men that you want to marry? So let me get this straight. You can count all of the proposals you got, but you don't count all of the men that you laid with. Oh, girl, that wasn't good. That don't count. Oh, that was just a fling. I don't count that. She didn't love you the way you thought you should have been loved. So you out there calling her every kind of name in the street. You run across a good girl and you treat her like crap because you got your heart broken and you didn't take the time to do what you had to do to heal. So you're going to bring that on to another unsuspecting woman. Now you done hurt her. And now she's hurt and she goes out there and she doesn't deal with her hurt. And then she gives that hurt to other men. Y'all heard about this guy that he caught AIDS, that he got AIDS and he was sleeping around with any woman that he could to give her AIDS, to give them AIDS. So you got sick and you tried to take as many people down with you. That's the real sickness. You wanted to have a baby with that woman and she didn't want to. So you laid with the woman and you took off your raincoat while she wasn't looking. And you shot up the club. She didn't ask for that. On the flip side, you want a baby and he don't. and you lie about being on contraceptives. And then you upset with him when you get pregnant because he didn't want a baby and you don't like his enthusiasm. So now you're going to make him suffer. Like he was supposed to turn off the switch. I don't want a baby. 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 I'm pregnant. I'm so glad you're having this baby. Oh, I can't wait. He did not want a baby. He made that abundantly clear in a lot of cases. And you said, I'm going to change him. Why? Why you got to change him? Why can't you accept him for being who he is and make a determination that that's what you want? You don't have to keep hurting people because you're not getting what you want. If you worked on yourself, man or woman, if you worked on yourself and you worked to make yourself the hot commodity naturally that you were supposed to, then you would be able to get what you're supposed to have. I assure you, man, if you work on the issues and the traumas in your life, you work on yourself and develop a skill, and then you become good at that skill, and then you produce a lot, and you're a quality person inside and out, you won't have to look for a woman. They will hunt you down. And even more so for a woman. If a woman stops concentrating on things that doesn't make her valuable in the dating market, if you will. Like I said, I told you about dating. It should be courtship. If what you're doing doesn't make you valuable as a wife, what are you doing? You should have that stuff sewed up. That should be your major if you want a relationship. If you don't want a relationship, you just want to be alone. Hey, look, do you? But if you want to be someone's wife, why not make sure that you are good in the areas that he wants? Companionship, like I said before, companionship, being excellent and consistent as a companion. How do you know if you're good as a companion? Because being a companion is not just for relationships. You can be a companion to your mama, your daddy, your brother, your sister, your nieces, your nephews, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, your friends. What kind of a companion are you to them? Are you great company to them? You ain't great company to nobody, yet you're trying to be somebody's companion. Why? It's a recipe for disaster. Then you get pregnant and have children. Then you bring children and all into that mess. Knowing goodness well, you care more about other things than being a companion. Ask yourself, if you really want to be in a relationship, ladies, fellas, are you doing the things that's going to make you valuable? A woman wants a man who's established. I'm sorry, it doesn't mean she's a gold digger. She might be going about it the wrong way, but a woman wants a man that's established and that can produce. You got to give a woman something to believe in, fellas. Ladies, fellas want a companion who's going to be a great helpmate. Focus on being the best companion and helpmate that you can in your life. If you are not interested in helping nobody, you don't belong being nobody's wife. Because that's what a wife does. And nobody's saying that you have to forsake anything, forsake all things to be a wife. Yes, a monogamous marriage is a sacrificial relationship. It's the most sacrificial of all relationships. That's why they're not working, because most people ain't sacrificial. If you're not a sacrificial, it's not what you're trying to convince me or the masses to see. If you know that you're not a sacrificial person, go work on that. And ladies, you're going to have to get that. It's not ladies. Ladies are sacrificial. Females and women. Okay? Because I talk about the difference between the three. You guys are going to have to really, you got a time clock. If you want children and things of that nature, you cannot be sitting there saying, I'm going to do all I want to do, and then I'm going to wait until my 30s and my 40s to get it. Because I'm going to tell you, right after you turn, as soon as you turn 30, ask any woman, any man, as soon as you turn 30, your body feels different. The stuff that you could do when you was a teenager and in your 20s, go around eating anything you want or whatever the case be, and then wearing what you want because your body is it's just God, good God. Well, guess what? As soon as like you turn 30, it's just like your metabolism say, I'm tired of this crap. And then you got to work hard to maintain looking good. I'm seeing guys and girls, myself included. When I was in college, I used to eat crazy, just dumb. But I also played football, so I had that working for me. And I had a wonderful, fantastic body. Soon as I turned 30, it was like my metabolism said, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this crap. And it just nosedived. And then all of a sudden, I was just gaining weight, having all kinds of issues and problems. I'm like, whoa. If I don't do something about this, I'm going to die. Never developed those good habits from an eating standpoint in my 20s. Had I developed those habits in my 20s, I'd have been better in my 30s. Now I am 40. It is absolutely critical that I'm conscientious about what I do and what I eat. It's like almost, I'm telling you right now, if I eat something that I don't supposed to eat at my age, within 1 to 2 weeks, I see it. And it's like, dang, it was just one day. Or I feel it. Then you wake up and you sit up. You've been sitting down a long time. You wake up and you hear all these bones cracking. What? You wake up in the morning and you got to pop your back because you feel so stiff. Your hips are starting to tighten up. All this other stuff, if you're not careful, will come up on you. You don't really feel that in your teens, in your 20s. You just pop up and jump up and do whatever you want to do. This is why when you're young, you go to bed late. And when you get older, you go to bed early. You ain't got no time to be playing around. If you don't love me, listen, men need respect. That's how we measure love. If we're getting respect, we're going to feel loved. What is respect? It's, hey, help me, be my companion, and do what I need you to do. Because I'm going to bring it full circle back to us. There you go. You want somebody to just be your pick me? Yes. No. I want somebody that's hard-headed and it's designed to make my life hard. Like, what is wrong with a female that think that a man wants hardships from her? We don't want things to be harder. We want you to come into our life and make things easier. You think that your preordained design is to come into a man's life and make things harder. I'm going to challenge him. No. That is not what we need. That is not what we want. Your challenging doesn't make us better. Your help makes us better. Your companionship, better. Peace, better. Tranquility, better. Loyalty, better. Faithfulness, better. You coming and doing opposite of any of that stuff like that, it's causing us stress. It's killing us. It's moving us faster to our grave. But that's what you think you're designed to do. I mean, are you an angel or are you the shepherd of the devil? You want to make somebody's life hard. You ain't healed nothing about yourself. You won't go and get no counseling. Listen, and I'm towing the line here, but I need you to understand that the reason that I'm doing this for purpose. You done got raped, you done got molested, you done got bruised, battered, beaten, and you ain't never talked about those issues. You ain't never worked out those issues. But because you cute, because you got a fat booty, and because you got a voluptuous body, or you got curves like nobody else, you qualified to be in a relationship. You are walking beautiful piece of pain. And nobody deserves that. And you don't deserve that. And what happened to you, you didn't deserve that. Don't nobody deserve to be mistreated. Don't nobody deserve to get raped, molested, beaten, battered, bruised. Nobody deserves any of that under any circumstances, under any conditions. Everybody deserves respect and basic human rights. And somebody done duped you, or somebody's done duped you. And I hurt for you, sis. I hurt for you, brother. But you got to heal that. You got to get that worked. And I know you want to be in a relationship. And I know, fellas, you want access to the juice box. And ladies, you want to be taken care of and pampered. I get that. But it's a season for everything. Amen. Listen, a, a botanical garden is beautiful, but it's not always beautiful. It takes some tilling of the field, it takes some work, and it takes some planting. And that stuff's not feeling good, and that stuff's not pretty. It's not pretty pulling up vines, pulling up weeds, stuff like that to make the garden beautiful. But it is an ugly process for a beautiful result. Are you willing to untangle, and are you willing to pull the weeds out of your garden so that through and through you have a beautiful garden to offer? Because us fellas, we coming hungry and we want to eat, and we don't want to deal with the critters, and we don't want to deal with the weeds choking out our meal. We want something to eat, and we want something to eat that's good. And we want you to have a tended to garden. We don't have time with all of the stuff that we're dealing with to go through your garden and pull up vines and weeds and stuff like that. Don't be trying to get us to do our job and your job. What kind of crap is that? Do your job. Do your job. My coach used to say that. My position coach used to tell us, he used to say, do your job. There was 11 guys on the field, and all 11 of us had to be assignment sound for us to have a total offense or defense. One person not doing their job can ruin the whole play, could possibly ruin the game. That offensive lineman doesn't block, and somebody rushes up their gap, and they don't follow their technical sound teachings, and they don't get in stance, and they don't do their right technique, that linebacker or that safety that comes through that hole got a free shot at that quarterback. That it's a tight game. Quarterback gets hit, ball comes out. Somebody on the defense pick that ball up and go in for a score. And that could be the determining factor of losing the game, ruining the season, and us winning a championship. You don't have to exert yourself and do so. You don't have to be two people. But ladies, you're trying to find out how to not be a whole person. Not ladies, but females, women, you're trying to find ways in marriage not to be the whole person, the person that you signed up to be, the assignments that you said, for better, for worse, for richer, for poor, for sickness and health, till death do us part. You signed up for doing that, and you try to find what. Then you get in the marriage, and then you start complaining about, I didn't know it was all of this. How did you not know? Because you didn't do your research, because you was in tune with being to dating and having and getting everything that you want, and you did not court, and you did not ask, and you did not tell what you bring to the table. And now you're in this situation, and now you're trying to fumble the bag, and you're trying to, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. And then when he gets upset and he goes out there and try to find somebody else to do what you're doing, you're just appalled, and you run and tell every platform that you can get on, oh my gosh, he's a terrible person. How could he do something like this to me? I mean, look at me. Bull crap. There are some women that ain't much to look at that's doing great in marriage. And then there's some women who are just everything to look at, and they're terrible at marriage. What you look like what you look like and what you packing in your back and your front doesn't determine how much of a good lover you are if you don't make that available. Like, what good is something that you have to offer and you rationing it out, guy or woman, guy or girl, you ration it out, and then you get upset because somebody is tired of you rationing it out. Like, you hate me. Like, what did I do? And then half the time you rationing it out to me, but then you go and you meet you go and meet Raul, and you bending it over and you clapping cheeks for him. And then no, oh, it's because I'm missing something. No. You did that. It was your decision. You didn't try to fix what was wrong with you. You didn't try to fix what was wrong at home. And because of that, you're in the conundrum that you're in. And you refuse to take responsibility until it's way late. You have to break up, go your own way, and find out how crappy it is out there in the world before you own up to what you should have owned up to right away. If you can't say I'm sorry, the whole thing is, if you can't do the time, don't do the crime. We need love and respect, people. We need, not just in our relationships, but for each other. We need to, this person pissed you off. That doesn't give you a right to say your life is not valuable anymore. I'm going to take your life. Like, stop that. He pissed you off, bruh. He pissed you off. I understand you're upset and mad. But if you can't bring yourself to respect that man, then just stay away from that man. He important to somebody else. This guy got a whole family, children and everything. And because he pissed you off and you don't like him, you're going to kill him. So it's not just relationships that I'm talking about. It's just people in general. And man, look, I got people on my poop list right now. I'm not going to kill them. And it serves me no purpose talking bad about them. They know who they are. They know what they did. They may not care. Okay. Well, I hope you not caring is going to carry you all the days of your life, because when you come back to me and you trying to do something with me or have something with me, don't be upset if I don't carry the same energy I carried before. I'm not going to deal with somebody that don't take responsibility and ownership for their part in what's going on. I'm not looking for people that are making. Listen, let me tell you this last thing and I'm going to wrap up. This is the thing about excuses and inexcuses. Inexcusable excuses are excuses that don't hold no water. For instance, why don't you have your homework, Johnny? My dog ate my homework, and you don't have a dog. It's, even if you have a dog, it's inexcusable. Your dog eats your homework, do your homework again. And then put your homework somewhere where your dog can't get to it. Like, take accountability. An example of excusable excuses. Yeah, man, I got in a car accident today. I'm not going to be able to come into work. Next day, man, me and my girlfriend got in a fight, and I'm downtown, and I had to go downtown. The next thing you know, you know what, man? So and so died in my life. Like, all of those things are that I just named. There are excusable excuses. But here is the thing: when even you have excusable excuses, it's not for me to tolerate you. I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to run business. I'm trying to have a successful marriage. You keep making excuses, and granted, they're excusable excuses, but I'm looking at you and I'm saying to myself, you know what? You have a lot going on in your life, and you need to tend to those things. And right now, this isn't good for you. Like, this marriage isn't good for you. This position that I hired you for isn't good for you. It's just not the right timing for either one of us. Yeah, but I need a job. I understand you need a job, but I also need somebody to do the job. Man, that's messed up. What would you like me to do? If the shoes were on the other foot and you needed me to do something for you, and I, excusable or inexcusable, made excuses, wouldn't you be left with the thing that you needed to have done undone? So I don't get when a woman says, I'm too tired to make love to you. I'm too tired to spend time with you. I got so many things going on. No, what happened is you stop keeping the main thing the main thing. Those children shouldn't be more important than your spouse. It's the flow and the overflow of what happens between the husband and the wife that the children are supposed to get. The children shouldn't be the main focus. I'm sorry, ladies. The children shouldn't be the main focus. And if you're in a situation where you have to make your children the main focus, you deserve to be alone. Nobody's going to sit there and make you important, but you don't make them important. You have to, it's a give and take. You have to give to get. If you want money, you have to sow money. You want time, you have to give up time. You want peace, you might have to go to war. Okay? Whatever it is that you want, you have to give it up to get it. I want free time with my family. Well, you might have to have a period of no free time with your family. If you want to have something in your life, you have to give something. You're not exempt from it. Give what you need to give to get what you need to get. You want kindness in your life, you have to give kindness. Love, you have to give love. You want someone to respect you, how respectful are you towards them? You can't give someone out in the street respect and then expect to get it at home. No, listen, you can't go and water his garden and expect your harvest to grow in your garden. The harvest is going to grow where you sow. So if you want to sow here in this marriage, in this partnership, in this business relationship, then you have to, if you want to grow here, you have to sow here. The grass is greener on the other side. Yep. And if you do the crap and you know what, you had green grass over here too, but your grass looked like crap over here because you ain't been doing nothing to the grass over here. So when you get over there and you play in that grass, let me tell you something about when we used to play football. Okay, when I played football, any field, but okay, I remember in particular when I was at the Ohio State, we had several football fields. Okay. The reason we had several football fields is as you start trotting on those fields with cleats and everything like that, the grass gets destroyed and it's all you see is dirt. So the reason we had several fields and an indoor field is we had several fields because if this field right here started to look like dirt, we would go over there and we would trot that field over there, and then they would repair the field that had dirt in it, and then that grass would grow back, and then we could come back over here. We had alternatives. They knew down to a science how long the grass would last and how long we could practice on it before it won't nothing to us. So we had several fields. Well, see, y'all don't have several fields in marriages. You got one field. So you got to be careful how you trot your field, first of all. And a lot of you are trotting your field and getting all of the advantages and fruits of your field. And then when it ain't nothing, y'all ain't ready to roll up your sleeves and get to work. Y'all ready to go over to this other field where the grass is greener and y'all want to play over there. Not thinking, because you're emotional, not thinking that the grass, some say, well, the grass may be greener on the other side, but it's not. No, some of the grass is greener on the other side because you haven't tended to yours. You go over there, you mess with that grass, and then next thing you know, before you know it, that grass looked like crap, and now your grass is looking real good now, and you want to come back home. Why? Instead of tending to your field daily. You so selfish, you using up your resources for what you want to gain instead of being a good steward over what you got. You're going to have to get out there and you're going to have to seed. You're going to have to aerate. You're going to have to seed. You're going to have to lime your yard if you want to keep a beautiful yard. You can't keep letting your dog just go in your yard and just poop in it. Don't leave the poop there, whatever the case may be. You're going to burn up your yard. Come on. You got to make sure that you get the doo-doo out of your yard. And you got to make sure that you tend to your field because that attended field is going to stay healthy. All right. I want to go on, but I'm going to stop right there. And let me just give you my final thoughts. Your healing is going to have to come from within. You cannot keep running from yourself. You're going to have to look in the mirror and you're going to have to face the facts of who you are. And guess what? Most of the things about us, okay? Most of the things about us, when left unattended, is going to be majority of things that are funky, fishy, nasty, and disturbing. You can't do nothing about that until you face it. You got crap in your lawn. I know you don't want to see it, don't want to deal with it, and don't want to own up to it. But until you look at the crap in your lawn and say, I got crap in my lawn, I'm going to get the crap out of my lawn. One piece of crap at a time. Before you know it, you're gonna have a free lawn. Then you could do the aeration, seeding, liming, or whatever the case may be in its proper season. And then you can enjoy a beautiful lawn, a beautiful marriage, a beautiful partnership. Even from an individual standpoint, you can enjoy beautiful outcomes because you did the work. There's no exemption from it. You're going to have to do the work. Nobody cares how it got there. It's there. I'm telling you, your excuses, nobody cares about. You think they do, but they don't. If you got crap in your lawn because of molestation, if you got crap in your lawn because of this, because of rape, battered, beaten, abused, used, delayed, dismayed, whatever it is, you still have a responsibility to address those issues in your life. You go through your life without addressing those issues, it's going to keep you from what you ultimately want, what you ultimately covet, what you ultimately need. And I'm telling you right now, the most important thing on this earth is your family. What you build and what you create with your family. Nothing is going to mean more than that. No matter how much money it is, no matter how many career moves you make, no matter how many places you travel, how many places you fly out to, or whatever the case may be, nothing will mean nothing to you. There will be nothingness to you if you don't prioritize what we were created and designed to do. We were created and designed to be fruitful, multiply, and enjoy that together. Find somebody that wants to work with you, or find somebody's that want to enjoy that with you. Whatever your dynamics are, make sure you're true to yourself about those dynamics and communicate that to the person that you want. They may say, I'm not for that, I'm not down for that, but you know what? Somebody is down for what it is you're trying to do. And when you get with them, the secret is to grow together, because somebody can be down for you and perfectly align with you when you meet them. But guess what? They're going to grow. Are they going to grow with you, or are they going to grow apart from you? It takes a concentration to grow together. Okay? Constant reminders, constantly looking at each other, constantly checking with each other, progress reports, evaluations. Oh, I'm slipping in this. Oh, let me go ahead and fix that. Because trust me, it's going to be things that you unknowingly are doing or not doing that's going to have an adverse effect on those that are around you. And you need to be made aware of that. Don't be so hard-headed that you can't bring yourself to the awareness of, you know what? I am struggling there. I am tripping. It can be romantically, it can be physically, it can be mentally, spiritually, emotionally. You got to allow your partner to be able to, they have a different sight line than you. You don't want to have somebody that got the same sight line as you, because if you guys are looking at the same things all the time, you can't see the things that you can't see. And you know what? There are blind spots in your life, and you need to have somebody that's going to look out for your blind spots, and vice versa. Remember, coming together, you're going to have to be that and do that. And I'm going to just tell you right now, you have to learn to deny yourself first. Do the things that you're supposed to do. Don't try to do it at other people's speed. Just do it at the best possible speed. Find your stride in life. Find your stride in life. And do what you can to increase your stride as best as you can, so you can PR, personal record. So you can PR your pace. Life is about finding your balance and finding your stride. It ain't about everything else falls after that. When you find your balance and you find your stride, then you can be to whom you're supposed to be it to. You can be that to the fullest. But it ain't going to happen unless you do some shadow work, look inside of yourself, and make the necessary changes. Nobody's playing with you anymore. Nobody's coddling you anymore. Nobody's making you feel, oh, look, we are sick, men and women. In particular, us melanated people, we have got to have respect for each other, love for each other, and do the best that we can for each other. But it starts with being and doing the best that we can for ourselves, to make us, not in an effort for selfishness, but in an effort to make ourselves vessels suitable enough to do the will of what our lives are created for. You may have been called to do this, you may have been called to do that, but you won't be able to do it if you are in the current conditions that you're in. And resistance brings strength. You are so afraid of the resistance and the rejection, and you can't succeed unless you fail. It's 10 yards to the first down. I run behind my blockers and I have my pad level at the level that I'm supposed to have it at. I may generally fall forward 4 or 5 yards. Now I'm in second and medium. That means I've got my whole playbook. The defense, the adversary, is on their heels for anything. They can't commit to the run and they can't commit to the pass. That puts them in their most reactionary state. And anybody knows that great offense will beat great defenses. But you guys are always on the defense because you're trying to get the big play. You here it is. First down, you going deep. Now it's 2nd and 10. Everybody knows you've got the possibility of you passing is going to be higher, but you put yourself in a situation because you didn't do what you were supposed to do. You were trying to get it all on one play. Ladies, you can't get it all on one play. You have to prove yourself to be able to get your inheritance. You have to maintain. You have to preserve your value. And fellas, you have to go out there and get your value. But we got to stop this crap about hating on each other and trying to do harm to each other. Yeah, we're going to piss each other off, but we got to love each other and respect each other. That's my time. Look, if you want to get in contact with me, if you got questions or you want booking or you want to book me for something, just get in contact with me at thoughtofleandre. It's going to be right down below this video. thoughtofleandre@gmail.com. Okay? Please like this video. If this video helps you, like this video. Share this video. Somebody needs to hear it from somebody they can receive it to. So it takes no long time. Just share the video on whatever platform you can. Okay? And then also, leave a nice comment that helps with the algorithms, man, so we can get in front of more people. All right. So I love you guys, man. I'm looking to grow with you. I'm looking to help you. You help me. And listen, until the next time, just focus on yourself and be the best that you can be so you can be the best for others. I love you.